Hey, good afternoon. This is Richard with a Mile 62 trail running channel. Hope everyone's doing great. Out for a run. Out at Lake Georgetown again, but a different part. I run out here a lot, but almost never the same part of the trail. The reason is because it's 26 miles to go around the lake, so there's a lot of trails. Hot day. It's about 105 when I left the house. So, you know it's hot when I only put ice in my bottle and it's almost all water already. I just started. So, it's a hot day, but I like running in the heat, and I'll explain why. Let's go for a run. Chat. So today, I'm running in my Hoka Evo Mafate. You can see here my shoes. These are the same shoes that Jim Walmsley won the Western States, his first Western States, crossing the road out to the boat ramp. And I like these shoes a lot, but I don't race in them, and the reason is they run a little bit narrow. I didn't know that when I bought them. These shoes you can't find in the stores. I bought them online, so when I run with them, I need to use my thinner socks. I use my Jinji road socks. The Jinji makes 3 different types of socks. The road one is the thinnest, and they work fine. But during a race, my feet would swell too much, and these shoes would cause me problems. So I use them for 10K to 20K distance. Works fine. Also today, I changed my GoPro settings. Changed the ISO down a little bit, so I'm hoping that it will give a little more color, because it's been so bright. But this part of the trail is kind of dark, so maybe that wasn't a good idea. I don't know. We'll see. So, why do I run in the high heat of the day? Main reason is because my family likes to stay inside this time of the day. Other reason is I race in a lot of high heat races. I was in Texas, and it's the most convenient part of the day to go running. I don't mind it. Also, my logic is that you get more bang for the buck in the training. The reason is when you do thermal testing on something like electronics or a product, that's what I'm trying to say. And I think clearly, when we test electronics, I've worked in electronics for a long time. We always do thermal testing, thermal chamber, 60 degrees Celsius, 75 degrees Celsius, a couple weeks, and it simulates many years of life. That's why do we do that? Is because you're testing a phone, a camera. R&D cycle can take 6 months to a year, even longer. You can't test it for 1 or 2 years and make sure it's going to last. So you do thermal testing. That's what we call accelerated life testing. I use the same logic on myself. If I run in the high heat, it really pushes myself. I push myself a lot harder. So that's what I'm thinking. I've been in electronics my whole life and spent 12 years with Nokia. So I know testing, and it's worked pretty well for me. I know if I'm going to hold up, my gear is going to hold up by running in extreme cold or extreme heat. Why run in the comfortable part of the day unless you just want to be comfortable, because it's not really testing yourself. It's a very technical part of the trail. So that's my logic of running in the high heat. So training this week, I worked out twice per day, every day, except for yesterday. I took the day off. What I mean by 2 days, I bike and run in the same day, or weightlifting. A couple of days I did 3 workouts. I did my ski machine, Ski RG. Some people call it Ski Erg. It's made by Concept 2, same company that makes the rowing machine. I have a video on that if you want to check it out. But it's a heck of a workout. I usually do it 15-20 minutes. I try to ski 1 to 2 miles. But it's the same. Nordic skiing is a great workout, upper body workout. The nice thing is, it's the same movement as trekking poles for ultra running. So there's my logic there. But I enjoy it. I can do it in my garage. I got my big fans, and I learned about it watching the CrossFit competitions and DECA competitions. Also High Rocks. They all do ski ERG. They don't all do rowing machine. So Nordic skiing is a big deal. And I mentioned earlier, I worked for Nokia for 12 years, so I used to travel often to Finland. And all my buddies over there were doing cross-country skiing, Nordic skiing, and they were all in really good shape. And all the top European runners, as we know, they all do skimo or Nordic skiing in the winter. Skimo is where they run or hike up the mountain and then ski down the mountain. That's a really tough sport, and makes them better runners during the rainy season. I don't know, that's what I'm thinking. I'm not fast, but I want to be strong. I just want to finish my long races in a respectable time and have fun. I don't want to be chasing cutoff times. So that's my idea. Well, yesterday was supposed to be my day off, exercise-wise. I still had to work. I work from home, but I've been wanting to. We have a bunch of gardens in the back of our house. I say gardens, but we're really farmers because we don't grow any plants that doesn't produce vegetables or fruit. So, well, I got some baby banana trees from my father's house, and I've been growing them in pots. And now they're at the point where they need to be planted in my yard. So I took my spade shovel. Keep in mind we're in Texas. There's a lot. You see all these rocks that we're running on right now? Under the dirt in my yard, that's what it looks like. Well, half my yard gets shade in the late afternoon because of my fence. It's the best place to grow grow things, because the sun is ruthless in Texas. We have I just scared some deer. Hopefully it was deer. That's the funny thing is baby deer looks like mountain lion all the time. It scares the shit out of you sometimes. Big deers look like deer. Baby deers can look like mountain lion. We don't have many mountain lions in Texas, but we do have some. But I was talking about farming. Well, we got 3 big beds where we, probably like 10 by 10, we plant vegetables. And, behind one of the beds is where I wanted to put my banana trees. I got 3 or 4 of them. So I need a hole about 2 feet by 2 feet, maybe 2.5 feet by 2 feet deep, so that I can fill it in with topsoil, and so the roots don't have to fight all the rocks. Well, I started digging it, got about half foot down, solid rock, or seemed like solid rock. Turned out it wasn't, but it was a lot of rock. I filled it in, I was frustrated. I said, I'll just plant them somewhere else. I did that 3 times. And then, talk about a heck of a workout. Trying to dig up Texas soil and fight the rocks. Anyways, I was really sore and beat up. It's supposed to be my off day. So, dug 3 holes, filled them in. Didn't accomplish anything. Well, I kind of did. At the end of the, right before the sun comes down, I was like, well, I'm gonna put these damn banana trees in the first hole I dug where I want to put them. So I dug it back out, and I said, I mean, I had a spade shovel. It's pretty good for digging up harder stuff, but it's too hard. And I was thinking to myself, I've seen those landscapers with those rock poles. Tomorrow morning I'm gonna go to Home Depot and buy me one of those rock poles. That's what I did. Thing's solid steel. It's like a big nail, heavy. And I bought one this morning, and it didn't take me long at all to dig that hole, the rest out, and get all those rocks out. Because on the bottom of that pole is about, it's like a knife, solid steel, and it's about 3 inches wide. It just tears up the ground really easy. Doesn't matter how much rock's in there. So I did that. It tears up the ground pretty easy, but still gonna give you a hell of a workout. This is a heavy piece of equipment, heavy pole. Anyways, after last night and this morning, my whole upper body and my arms are really sore, even though I skied every day this week, or most every day, lifted weights. The reason it really beat me up is because it works some muscles that I don't usually work. That's why it's good to cross train. Digging up those rocks, work some muscles in my arms and shoulders that I usually don't work. So it's a good workout. So my point is, it's good to explore and find other things to get your workout in, and you can accomplish things too, because the nice thing is I got it done. I also planted a tree, small tree. It's not a fruit bearing tree, but it's one I got from my father's house. It originally died on me, and I kept nursing it, and it came back. Really pretty tree with some big flowers on it once it grows up. So anyways, I enjoy plants. I'm not into gardening and all that, but too much. My front yard doesn't look that great compared to others on the block, but the farming, I really like it. My wife, I guess I kind of do the grunt work. Plus I water everything twice a day. My wife does the planning. As I mentioned before, my wife's Chinese, and she actually comes from a part of China, Hunan province, where they do rice farming and other farming. So her family is real life farming. But it turns out that I do most of the work. Chinese don't like to get out in the bright sun. So kind of funny, the culture sometimes. But it's a good partnership. She does all the planning. I do all the grunt work and the picking, because picking has to be done every day. Right now we're growing okra, which is a beautiful plant. It grows very high, very strong, like bamboo, and can take harsh punishment from the wind. You don't have to stake it down and give it protection. But anyways, the okra can grow several inches. Not the plant, but the okra itself, the vegetable, can grow several inches overnight. And if okra gets more than 5 inches, it doesn't taste very good. At least not to my wife. I think it's okay. But anyways, I need to cut them off every day so they don't get too long. We got 2 of those. We had a bunch of melons and stuff, pumpkin and stuff like that. I ripped them all out now. We replanted after the big freeze. In the wintertime, killed all of our plants. But I don't care much for vine plants like tomatoes or pumpkins, melons. And the reason is it's hard to control how they grow, and it's real hard to protect them from the sun because they get out in the environment. Big buzzards. Yeah. Smell wine now. Anyways, the vine plants are hard to protect. What happens is part of the vine will die, and then it puts at risk the rest of the vine. So I just get sick of it. Rip them all out. I really don't like vine plants. We also have eggplants. We've had many different types. Right now we have a bunch of Japanese ones. They taste good, but big bushes, but they don't produce many eggplants. Had smaller ones that produce more eggplants. It's just different varieties. I don't know if certain ones grow better in Texas or not. But what else do we have? Some beans. We have one whole bed of potatoes. Potatoes are kind of a pain in the ass because there's a lot of plant that grows above the dirt line. I'm not sure if it's worth it, but you can the mile marker 18. You can eat the green part that grows above the surface. It's another vegetable. My wife cooks it and chops it up real small. Tastes pretty good, but it grows very fast. Anyways, what else I have? We have a lot of peppers. We grow a lot of red peppers, Chinese peppers, very spicy ones. I mean, just a small part of a pepper can spice up a whole dish. And we eat very hot. My wife is from the spicy part of China, and I'm also very used to eating very hot food. I like Indian food, and we lived in Chengdu far west part of China, where my children were born. Actually, that's where all the pandas come from. Anyways, that's the most spicy part of China. So still have a house there, and so combination of anything, our family likes to eat very spicy food. Anyways, these peppers about an inch and a half long. Just a half a pepper will spice up a whole wok. It's crazy hot. So we grow on those. We also chop them up and make kind of like hot sauce, which will last for a long time. And also growing bell peppers. I really like bell peppers. I've had many different colors in the past, but right now we just have a green bell pepper. One thing about bell peppers is they grow very slow. So if you want to have bell peppers every week, you need to have a lot of plants, and we don't right now. Maybe deer, buzzards. Maybe deer are not doing so well in the heat this year. I don't know why they wouldn't. It's right next to the lake. Challenging part is the lake is very close, but it's not easy to get to it. Maybe a little bit easier for animals. Also, my last few videos, I didn't do much talking or chatting, mostly music. Please let me know in the comments if you prefer my running vlogs to be mainly music or more talking, chatting. There's a lot of people on YouTube, they just add music to their runs. So I think it's kind of popular. I kind of like to do a combination of both, but let me know if you like my long talk runs or you prefer the music. Let me know honestly. Don't worry, I'm not gonna hurt my feelings. It's good feedback, and I'm gonna do whatever people like and help grow my channel. Well, this is really technical section. This is part of this particular trail is not a trail that's run very much. Gets a lot of hiking, but not as much as the other trails. That's why there's some overgrowth. This trail system is managed by the Army Corps of Engineers, so they just kind of let it do what it's gonna do. There's not much trail maintenance out here. There is some by mountain biking clubs, and also one race director that puts on some races out here. But it's not like most trails, like mountain bike parks or anything. Just however the roads, it's the way it is. That's why so many jagged rocks. You gotta be really careful. What else is going on? Kind of a weird section here. What's your else feeling about pacers and crew? I've talked about this before, and it sometimes gets people angry. That's just my opinion. I started thinking about it again because of what happened at UTMB. American men did poorly again. And I think Luke J was the top American man. The women did great, but men, Luke J, you know, nobody's heard of him before, but he did great. I think he finished like in the 30 percentile. I put it on my last video, I forgot. It was like somewhere between 30 and 40. Great job, man. It's not even a pro. He was a top finisher in UTMB for the Americans. Well, Europeans don't use pacers, and in the US we do. I don't. I've never used a pacer for a couple reasons. One reason is I think it's cheating, and I'll tell you why in a minute. The other reason is I don't have enough crazy friends to help me out. Same thing for crewing. I don't use crews either. A few times when my family's been out there, I kind of feel pressure to finish on a certain time. I don't do as well because of it. Anyways, my feeling is that U.S. men give up too easy at UTMB. And if you get injured, it's one thing, but you got to push on. I just think the Europeans are tougher. They don't use pacers and have to do things by themselves all the time. It makes it harder. And to make it even more challenging, that is a extremely difficult course. You know. Anyways, it's my opinion. Imagine if you're doing all the races by yourself all the time and then go into a race against people that are always helped at the end of races. I think it makes a big difference. There's a water section here. Yeah. Yeah, I turned around at the water section. Now we gotta go uphill. Anyways, that's my opinion about pacers. I really think that we shouldn't allow them in US races unless you have some physical disability, you're blind, or maybe over 65, something like that. I'm okay with that. It's just an advantage, and I think it hurts us in the European competitions. It doesn't make you physically tougher to not run with a pacer. It makes you mentally tougher, and mental strength is a big part of ultra running, especially the really long ones. I'll tell you, my last race, habanero, my feet were all torn up. My mental game broke down. I could have repaired my feet, taped them up, and I could have finished, but I would have had to go through another whole day of daylight, 100-degree weather, and I just didn't have the why. You know, we always say why. The mental fortitude to keep going that day. If I had a pacer or somebody, they probably would have talked me into keep going, or made it less boring. That's another thing. When it gets late at night and you're running, especially the same course over and over, like habanero 16 laps, it gets very monotonous and easier when you're with people pacing you. And also, they're reminding you to, okay, time to take a gel, salt tablet. It's really important when you're running in 100-degree weather. Those kind of things. That's why I call it cheating. I know that pisses people off when I say that, but it's just the way I feel about it. I don't knock people that use pacers. I'm just saying it makes our ultra running culture a little bit weaker compared to the Europeans, because it's an advantage and it hurts us. I mean, if Europeans use pacers too, it'd be no big deal. I'd still not use a pacer. I'll tell you what, late in a race, when you start hallucinating and forgetting things. I'll never forget J&J 100K. It's in October. No, this one's in March. Still very hot. And this one year, they started the race. They started the race at. It was 7 p.m. at night. Still daylight, but it was tough for me because I get up at 5 every day. Just habit. Plus, this was on a Friday. I had to work. But getting up at 5, starting a race at 7, that's going to take me, 15 to 18 hours. Means I'm going to be up a really long time. And that's what happened to me. When the sun came up, I was late in the 100K. I had put suntan lotion on before the race started that Friday night. But guess what? I was tired, hallucinating some. No pacer. Nobody to help me out, no crew. I forgot to put my suntan lotion on again. And the bad thing about it all is my suntan lotion was in my bag, my drop bag. I just forgot to do it. I was tired. Even though I was jacked on coffee, just wasn't thinking straight. But that's my point. Pacers give you an unfair advantage mentally. And mentally is not just toughness, it's also helping you remember to do some things. And also keeping you from getting bored. Imagine running UTMB up the Alps at night. It's freezing cold. Got down to 1C. And you're beat up. Nobody to talk to or lean on except for fellow racers if you're that lucky. So, like you saw Jim wanting to run with Francois Dehane because they're friends. It'd be real boring at night. These guys use pacers all the time. Jim not so much, but he does use pacers in races, like in Western states and stuff. Sometimes he does. But that's my whole point. I think it'd be better for Americans, so we compete internationally, to not allow pacers anymore. And also think about it, if pacers and crews were not allowed, a lot more people could join the races, because a lot of the park systems have limits. Western states, for example, we've all been in the lottery for many years. I'm sure a bunch more spots would open up if pacers and crews were not allowed. So anyways, that's my 2 cents about it. All right, nice talking with everyone. I'm gonna switch to music now. Just enjoy the Lake Georgetown trails with me. I appreciate you listening to my vlogs and checking my channel. Wish everyone a great Labor Day weekend and enjoy your run.